Hey, welcome to Hospitality Team Training Session 3, Working the Radar. And in this session, I want to introduce you to a tool that we're going to use for a hospitality team that we call the Cedar Lane Radar. And I want to tell you about it, show you how to use it, and hope it'll be something that'll be fruitful and useful to you as you work this ministry. We realize that that one of the challenges of working hospitality ministry, working with guests, is that there's so many new names and all that kind of stuff. The familiarity is a real challenge. Not everybody's naturally good at that. I, frankly, am pretty terrible about it. But what we want to do is we want to provide a tool for all of you that are working in this particular ministry, so that you can both have a quick and easy way to record folks that are coming, help fulfill that role of capturing some information. Second, we also want you to be able to recognize the names of people that are coming that are new or who have been there just a few times or whatnot. And so we created the Cedar Lane Radar as a way of doing that. Now, very simply, what we want to do is we want each week on a single sheet of paper to have all the information you need. And so it is the radar. It is our tool for tracking the people who are kind of new in our space, who are new in our community. Okay, so here's the way this works. As you gather, actually every Friday, we're going to send this out via email, and I hope you'll look over it. And then when you come in on Sunday morning to work your station, we want you to all, there will be one kind of master copy of the radar that'll be at the hospitality desk. We want you to all pray over that together as a group before you all kind of spread out and go to your stations. And it just as a way of kind of refreshing yourselves and being ready. There are 3 places where information from previous weeks will show up. Those places are, first of all, who is people that have made their first visit over the last 4 weeks. And that's going to be a table. And as you can see on the table, very, very simply, it just records anybody who has made their first visit to Cedar Lane sometime in basically the last month. And then it has a column. It has 4 weeks of past weeks, and then it'll have a column for that current Sunday. And basically, we would ask that you just kind of be familiarized, because this is people that their first time to come was just a couple weeks ago, right? We want to make sure that we're still greeting them, we're still saying hi to them, and seeing if they've had any questions in those first few weeks. That's a critical time in their journey with Cedar Lane. So, if they're there, if you see them again that week, then check them off, okay? So that we know that they're continuing to show some interest and continuing to be present with us. So that's the first thing. The second area is people that we're kind of looking for. We're going to ask our ministers and shepherds and really anybody that if there's somebody that they've invited to come to worship and they want the hospitality team to be kind of on the lookout for them, that they pass those names to us. For instance, I had some friends that we had invited that I wanted to make sure that if anybody else saw them, that they, first of all, they go greet them and be aware of them, but also they might know to kind of send them to me and help them find me in there. And so that's kind of people we're going to put on that process or in that section of the radar. So you should kind of have them on mind. If this person shows up, we want to make sure and give them some love, give them some attention. And then the third category of information that's already going to be present on the radar is people that have made those first visits in the last 6 months. Now, we're not going to necessarily show every time in the last 6 months that they've come, but we just want to have those names. So that when you gather, when you prepare, you kind of are praying over those names and thinking through these are people who are still really relatively pretty new to the Cedar Lane community, okay? All right, so those are the 3 categories of spaces that will contain previous information. The last part of the radar, the fourth part, is simply a section for you to record information of people that have been there that week and it's their first time they've made a visit. So we'd ask you to get a name if you can, write their first and last name. If they have kids, maybe you might want to make a little note if they had some, like if they came with somebody else or if they had friends, somebody else, you may want to make a little note there. It doesn't have to be a lot, may not have any notes at all, it may just be the first and last name. If when you took them their visitor packet, okay, if it was their first time, they get a welcome packet, like we mentioned in the last video. When you do that, see if you can get an email for us, okay? If you get an email address, then that'd be helpful. We can get them send them a little welcome note as well as part of the process, okay? And all we ask you to do is just write their name, just quickly handwrite it on the copy of the radar that's at the front desk, or at the hospitality desk there in the lobby, and then we'll get that. We'll take that information, and we'll on Monday morning the staff will process that, get it filled out, so that the next week when we send it out on Friday, we'll have that new information recorded. We'll have them as kind of a first-time visitor, and the process goes on from there. Okay, so this is the Cedar Lane Radar. I hope it's a tool that'll be useful to you. Hope it's something that will help your ministry and engaging guests there at Cedar Lane in our Sunday morning worship services. We want to be as intentional as we can about every facet of this process, and this is just one way that we can help ourselves do that. It'll also help us as we move from transition between months. Like when your team goes off rotation, it'll help you pass information to the new team that's coming on. And when your team comes on rotation, you're going to want to have a little information about those people that have been there in the last few weeks. Okay? All right, so that's what this tool is designed to do. I hope it's useful to you. Okay, bye.